it was just, it's an overwhelming program to have these types of materials available to all parents of all classes, races, cultures, because it just builds on what we're doing here at school. Due to the materials in the home, we have had an increase from last year to this year with the skills that the children have come back with. They know their ABC letters, they recognize them, they match them, they can spell their name, they're writing at different stages of writing because of the materials in the program. So I would like to have that program continue because it definitely helps with the education of the children that are here right now.
When we mentioned why did we go this route of determining this for our son, you know, this family was all about education anyhow, and you know, we never wavered on that once since our kids were small, and seen that continue. So, you know, when you have been robbed of a child to death, and yet you knew that that's what you wanted for them, it's great to see you know, that memorial award continue, because you know some other child is benefiting, even financially.
And for us, we never knew that this was available either, because you don't think of that in the future, right? You're thinking of your children and their education. And then when this did happen, we were just so honored to be able to continue with our son's memory and have the security of knowing we're part of this organization. And I just only hope that the more deaths I see and hear about, that families are more aware of what's available to them out there, just like we had that opportunity.
And at the same time, it's so special, you know, emotionally, to walk down the aisle, like the main hall in Medway that the award is at, and to see his picture. And it's right under a light, just coincidentally, you know, and it's so nice to see that, because almost, it's hard to describe, but when you walk through, it's almost as if he's there.
Yeah, it was always my dream to go to university and ultimately to be a family doctor. It was always kind of a scary thing. You'd like, how much is tuition? How much is living in a city? Like that adds up to a lot of money. Like, where am I ever going to get that money? So it's like, it causes a lot of like, oh, maybe I shouldn't go. And yeah, just you don't want to put that burden on like your future and yourself, and like maybe even the possibility of not going if you don't get enough funds. So it's always kind of scary. I'd like to be a family doctor, and kind of specifically in a rural area, because I grew up on a farm, and I definitely see the value of living in a rural area and growing up in a rural area and growing old in a rural area. So I'd really like to care for those people that I feel I can connect to, and have some farmer talk with some of my patients and things like that. And also, yeah, just be able to show them, a lot of teenagers and younger people in those kind of communities think that there's really no place for them in the larger world. So just to show them that, hey, like I did it. So it's really something that has really been a blessing, and I just like to thank the Thames Valley Foundation for giving me the opportunity to do that.
I think the world is changing dramatically, and I think all of us are called upon to do more than we might have done in the past in terms of broadening our perspective on what can happen. I know this much, that we cannot continue to do things the way they did when I went to public school. Things of necessity are changing rapidly, and someone has got to be thinking about ways to use that effectively. So if there's a source of funds that can allow experiments or adventures into doing these new things, and I think it makes it a lot easier for the school boards to react. Mary Lou and I, for a long time, for 20 years or more, have wondered about how communities become prosperous and stay there. And the fact is, there's a momentum that gathers, and it doesn't last for 20 years, it lasts for generations once you get it going. Because you have skill bases and you have people that are talented people working in the system, and people make a city prosperous, and they make that prosperity long-lasting, and the quality of life that goes with it all depends on the people that are there. So That's why we're really interested in human talent and what can be done with it. And the more of our bright young people we can convince to stay here, the better the community is going to be. So we're always looking for ways where we can make a difference. And this is one of the ways we think we can do it.